In this video, I will show you how to distinguish between broken alif and ya. Also, I will show you at the end of this video how to distinguish between a broken alif and the regular alif. Let's get started. Broken alif, it looks like ya but without dots. Ya, it's a part of the 28 alphabets and it's one of the long vowels. There are big difference between broken alif and ya. That's why I did this video. A lot of students still making the same mistakes. Most of the time they write broken alif without dots, which is a big mistake. And I will show you now why. Alif maqsura, it's always at the end of the words. You pronounce it as there is alif at the end. A sound, has no dots. You can see it sometimes in some of the prepositions, such as ila, ala, hatta. Sometimes you see what we call it dagger alif on the top, and this dagger alif, just to remind you, you just add a sound at the end. We call it dagger alif. It looks like curved alif. Sometimes you can see broken alif in some of the female names and some of the male names, such as Maha, Huda, Muna, Salwa, Jana, Layla, Nada. Again, sometimes you can see the dagger alif here at the end. Sometimes you don't see it. But if you see it, that means just add a sound at the end. Musa, Mustafa, Isa, some of the male names. Musa, Mustafa, Isa. Alif maqsura and ya. Let's compare. Always at the end of the words, as I mentioned before, pronounced as there is alif at the end, like ala, has no dots. Ya, not always at the end because it's part of the alphabet. So ya has 4 shapes. One of the long vowels in the Arabic language. Remember, we have 3 long vowels in the Arabic language. This is one of them. We pronounce it different because it depends where it's located in the word. If it's in the beginning of the word, we read it sometimes different than if it's in the middle of the word. And has 2 dots. So there are big differences between ya and broken alif. That's why we have to pay attention. Let's do some examples. Ali, this is ya. Ali. Ala. See, there are big differences in the pronunciation and in the meanings as well. So if you say ala, it's on. But if you say Ali, Ali, it's a male name. Ili, to me, it's mine. Ila, it's preposition. Layli, it comes from the word layl. Layla. So you have to pay attention when you write broken alif or ya. You have to pay attention, especially broken alif. It's always at the end of the word, so you cannot make mistakes with the broken alif, especially when you read it. It's always at the end and no dots and you read it as a sound. That's why sometimes, as I mentioned, you see dagger alif at the end. Just to remind you, it's a sound. We call it dagger alif. It's like curved alif. Now let's talk about alif and the broken alif. Sometimes my students keep asking me the same questions, how I can distinguish between alif and the broken alif, especially at the end of the verb. This is what you do. You go back to the past tense, 3 letters. Let's say masha. Masha. Turn masha to present tense. Yamshi. So if you turn it to present tense and it ends up with ya, that means the past tense is broken alif. One more time. Go back to the verb as a past tense, 3 letters. If, after you turn it to present tense, if it ends with ya, then the past tense is broken alif. But if you turn it in to present tense and it ends up with waw, then the past tense is alif. So we have 2 things to think about. The first step, past tense. Think of past tense. Turn it to present tense. If at the end, if it ends up with ya, then the past tense is a broken alif. But if it ends up with waw, then the past tense is alif, not a broken alif. Let's do more examples. Jara. Let's do it to present tense. Yajri. The present tense ends with ya, then the past tense is broken alif. Afa. Ya'fu. Then look at waw, then it's what? It's alif. Rama. Make it present tense. Yarmi. If it ends up with ya, then the past tense is broken alif. Da'a. Yad'u. Again, waw. Endings is so important. This is how you can decide if it's broken alif or alif. One more. Ata. What's the present tense from ata? You know? Ya'ti. Yeah, then it's a broken alif. Saha. Present tense from saha. Yashu. Then it's alif. And the last one, ishtara. Yashtari is the present tense. So the key here is go back to the 3 letters verb, past tense, then play with it. Do it as a present tense. If it ends up with ya, if the present tense ends up with ya, then the past tense is broken alif. If the present tense ends up with waw, then the past tense is alif. This is the easiest way you do to distinguish between broken alif or alif at the end of the verb.